I finally decided to say goodbye to my potato computer and get something that doesn't run Crysis like an absolute slideshow. We are on a plane and getting introduced to the Raptor team. Prophet, Psycho, Jester and Aztec. You would think that these names are based on character traits and foreshadowing, but no, they are not. That would be way too obvious. After hearing that we are rescuing archaeologists from the North Koreans, we jump off the plane and skydive towards the island where they are held hostage. But oh no, the parachute doesn't work and we fall right onto the tutorial beach. Here we can test out our nanosuit's abilities. Strength, become super strong without a single protein shake. Cloak, helpful to avoid those social and enemy encounters. Armor, be able to enjoy bullets before they start to become lethal. Speed, the speed and endurance of a cheetah with asthma. When we're done with press space to jump beach, we run into Jester and buddy up to find Aztec. We find him, and what a plot twist, the guy named after that civilization has died. After pressing F to pay respects, we continue to the LZ. But oh no, the North Koreans have a GPS jammer. That's so weird. You would think that someone who takes hostages and has placed an entire army on an island would have absolutely no secrets. So, weirded out by the jammer, we decided to visit the Korean command center for answers. The file at the command center says,
Young means business.
We continue to the rendezvous point where we find ourselves a frozen boat on land. Jester does a comic relief.
Looks like someone had a little trouble parking their boat.
And a map with a new waypoint. Because there was nothing in the briefing about
the motherfucking freeze rate.
Some arguing ensues. This was quickly resolved by Jester getting taken by a mechanical squid. Jester unfortunately died, and in my grief I made sure nothing of value was left behind. But we have no time to mourn, there are bullets to shoot and things to download. So we did. Apparently one of the archaeologists is held hostage in the school. When we enter the school we see that the North Koreans aren't monsters. They placed a couple of guns in the school to make the Americans feel at home. The archaeologist tells us that the rest of her crew is at the excavation site. We leave Psycho with her because he called dibs. After making a weighted decision and using the car to its fullest potential, coupled with a hop, skip and a few dozen of fast but short sprints, we meet up with Prophet. Prophet says that another GPS jammer needs my help. Then the nanosuits do a thing, then the mechanical squid does his thing and takes Prophet away. We get a radio message from Major Strickland. He offers us a chance to leave this killer robot infested island. But we refuse because we have a mission to complete and very bad risk perception. So we turn off yet another GPS jammer and depopulate a few outposts. When we're done with that, we arrive at the excavation site to find Rosenthal, one of the archaeologists, talking with Means Business Kyung via video chat. We don't engage because social interaction makes us awkward, so we eavesdrop the conversation. Rosenthal is like, Kyung, that squid fossil you have me examine is alive. I'm an archaeologist. I feel you should contact a vet. Then Kyung is like, I paid you up front, so please continue the research. And I also have your daughter, so... Life lesson, don't bring your daughter to work. She will probably be used as leverage by North Korean generals. Then there is an electric burst. The Skype call got ended and we are vulnerable to conversations again. Rosenthal tells us that his daughter Hellena is up in a mine in the mountains before he involuntarily transforms into an old man popsicle. Major Strickland calls us to see if we are okay and gives us an LZ waypoint. When we arrive at the LZ, we encounter some North Koreans in cheap knockoff nanosuits. After defeating the sloppy products of child labor, we hop in the VTOL, catch up with Psycho and apply for the job to take out the AAs protecting the harbor.
You want the job? You got it!
Wow, that was easy, we didn't even have to submit a resume. 3 AAs blown to smithereens and an airstrike called on a cruiser later, we find ourselves promoted to tank driver and Psycho to main character to play in Crysis Warhead. World of Tanks is fun. Because we were so good in taking out AAs and calling in airstrikes, we get to do it again. Yay, explosions are a blast, but we still have to find Rosenthal's daughter. After infiltrating a KPA compound, we find out the exact location of Hellena. We enter the mine and hear Hellena and Kyung talking, so we sneak up on them. Oh no, the cheap knockoffs used cutscene power and it's super effective. They knock us out and bring us over to Kyung. He starts to monologue about the temple being the greatest source of power the world has ever seen.
We may have discovered the greatest source of power the world has ever known. The possibilities are endless. Your own government runs inside this thing as much as we do.
Phrasing.
An unnamed engineer tells Kyung that they are losing power. Upon hearing this, Kyung remembers that he had not yet met the quota of killing one of your own men and damaging an ancient structure with explosives to be established as the bad guy. So he kills the engineer and blows up the entrance to the world's greatest source of power. Yeah, not really an A-list idea. What follows is an explosion that takes out his man. And boss fight. This fight will go down in history as that one time Kyung really messed up by not wearing a helmet. After not more than 5 buckshots to the head, Kyung is dead and is probably not having an open casket funeral. Thanks to plot relevance, Hellena is saved from the explosion. Together we try to escape using the elevator. It gets stuck. A Vito flies into the collapsing cave but can only rescue one of us. Because we are a gentleman, we let Hellena do the leap of faith. With help from the elevator, we fall down and look for another way to escape. There are none. We have to push through the temple. Stocked up on ammo and a box to keep us company, we venture into the temple. Because there is no communication with the outside, we film our surroundings and give 2013 Let's Play commentary.
I'll try to describe what I'm seeing.
If losing communication wasn't enough, we now also lost gravity. As we float further the temple in, we appear not to be alone. Luckily, Bugs is there to give us mental and emotional support. 10 minutes of navigating hallways with spooky tunes in the background later, we stumble upon the worst cutscene ever. The game makes our character throw away the box to introduce us to an alien squid. Enraged by this, I yelled that its mom did hentai before pumping it full of lead. I tried to look for Bugs, but he was no more. Sad and miserable, we pressed onwards. Apparently solved the puzzle, took a pretty sweet ride on a roller coaster, and saw what our potential new overlords look like. After sharing some more lead with the squids, we make our escape. In the process of doing that, we kinda freeze everything. We contact Strickland. He gives us the location of an evac point. Strolling along this winter wonderland, we find Prophet. He tells us that his suit is broken and that we get to do an escort mission. You would think that it's bothersome, but actually it's quite fun to go from campfire to campfire and warm ourselves up by crashed helicopters. Exiting the snow globe, we find a platoon, team up with them, kill some mechanical squids and join them in a convoy. We pick up a distress signal from Hellena and come, like the hero we are, to the rescue. She is stuck in a crashed VTOL. Prophet breaks open the hatch while we keep the squids at bay. Once the hatch is open, Prophet brings Hellena to safety and we our rebound box. A Vito is there to pick up Hellena, Prophet and rebound box. We rendezvous with Strickland and leftover cannon fodder to empty some rocket launchers and secure the LZ. When the Vito is able to land, we are treated to a heartwarming cutscene in which Strickland sacrifices himself and hints at being Jesus.
I'll walk on water if I have to.
We take off and fly to the USS Constitution. But on the way to the carrier, the pilot died, and because we saw the VTOL controls in the settings, we are the pilot now. Against all odds, we safely arrive at the carrier. Psycho is back from his spin-off game and brought with him something to hang above the mantelpiece. After making sure it's really dead, we go to Admiral Morrison. Morrison is like, we are the American army, they are a problem, let's nuke it. But Hellena is like, they absorb power, what if they absorb the power of the nuke and become like Super Saiyan squids? I need more time to do research. Morrison with his glowing brain intellect says, we don't have time for researching, only for nuking. Hellena storms off to the armory and we follow her. In the armory we meet Prophet and Psycho. Prophet wants to go back to the island, something about finishing the fight. Hellena and unnamed scientist alter our suits so we can broadcast a signal that makes the squids vulnerable to an energy overdose. Then we are ordered to go to the bridge. We see Prophet fly to the island in a stolen VTOL. Not really a stellar plan, knowing that it's also the destination of a few dozen nukes. Like Professor Oak always says, there's a time and place for everything, but not now. Cause now we're looking at a nuclear explosion. It's really great for our retinas. But wait, the snow globe is expanding and we have multiple hostiles incoming. Could it be that the nukes didn't work? No, the nukes worked perfectly. At least that's what the American history books will say. Besides the carrier getting attacked, the nuclear generator is damaged, and we have to fix it. Which is perfect, first blessing our eyes with a few megatons worth of explosions and then cleansing our skin with radiation. Fully energized by this nuclear delight, we return to the flight deck. But first we make a pit stop by the armory to pick up the tag cannon, a handheld nuke launcher. When we arrive on deck we see a giant robot squid. Hellena broadcasts the signal through our suit to make it vulnerable to attacks, and it worked like a charm. But we still have an unused tag cannon, so boss fight. It's an alien ship with turrets to shoot and 3 spots to put nukes. Open your mouth, here comes the airplane. Yes, we did it. We are now able to hitch a ride with Psycho and Hellena and escape the exploding carrier. Psycho tells us that Prophet is still alive on the island, so of course we set course for the Nuke to Bits island that's oozing radiation.